Evening, Sujoy. Good evening, everyone. This is Rajni Sikant.
Okay, great.
So glad to be to attend this session. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. So I am also glad that you are all here and you are all making it all great by your presence. And I hope that we are going to have a very good session. So there are certain few people just more joining in. Well, let us take another 5-10 minutes. And so it will be good if everybody can join in. Yeah, some people are still joining in because it takes a little bit of time on the internet to get adjusted and everything. So I hope you guys can hear and see me clearly. If someone is not able to hear or see me clearly, just let me know.
No, sir, no issue. Everything is clear,
Okay.
sir. Sound is okay, sir.
Okay, sound is okay.
Yes,
So everybody just turn on your camera for a moment. If that is possible, but otherwise not.
actually, I'm not wearing a good attire like you.
No. So that's okay. That's not. So I said that is optional. That is optional.
Okay,
I just wanted to see, guys. There you have come from. Such.
You can see me just little bit. You can see.
So
Jadip
actually,
Katale.
I'm just. Actually, I conduct a lot of classroom-based session, and it is very good to see lots and lots of the people. The people, the presence of the people, they give us the energy in life. Actually, this is what we are realizing right now. So we have got all the comforts of home, but we are not able to see the people face to face.
Yes,
Now we realize that, as the scientists say, that human beings are the social creatures. So we really are the social creatures. Now we are missing the people. Okay, earlier we used to avoid the crowd. Let us not go and meet people. Now we are just thinking, if I should have met that person, this person. So it is good to see the people. That is why. So it is good that this pandemic is happening in the times of the technology. It has happened 100 years also, 100 years earlier also. So while the people joining, so I was just going through the net and I saw something about the Spanish flu. So that was around 1920. You can just imagine those times. Though a lot of many people were locked up. The government announced that this is happening. So you can just imagine, you can't call anybody, you can't see anybody. So at least we are able to call and see. At least we are able to enhance our knowledge. We can study. We can interact with people from across the world, across the country. So that is good. So many people, they call me. They say, "Sir, it is so bad. The lockdown is so bad." I say, how to feel good when you compare with something. You need some baseline to compare it. Baseline is a technical term, project management term. I say the baseline is that, just imagine that you are admitted in a hospital for so long, but you have 100% guarantee of getting better after this. There is a 100% guarantee that after the hospitalization is over, so you are going to go home healthy and sound. Okay, so there is a 100% chance. So just take it like that. There are many people, unfortunate people, those who caught it not without, without any mistake on their part. So because of the work, maybe because they were just passing through some place and they just caught it inadvertently. And many people, they have succumbed to it. Okay, so we are in fact the lucky ones that we are at home and we are going to learn about the project management. So count your blessings, guys. Count your blessings, and we will come out of it. So that's a good thing. So I think, okay, I can still see some people in the waiting room. Actually, this Zoom has a sort of a waiting room. So, I'm doing this initial talk so that you can just get warm up, so that we can get to see each other. And let me see how many people are still there in the waiting room, because this Zoom has changed due to the security reason. Just a couple of days back, it has changed the process. The process is that the person who first clicks on to this link, first he goes into the waiting room. From the waiting room, the session host will click on the admit button. So I'm just having a look. How many people are still entering the waiting room? It's like a sort of a reception. So there are still some people there. So let me get them in. Okay, so I think that more people can continue to join in, and while I will now start the session. So what I will do, just to avoid the background noise, I'm going to mute you all. So if you want to ask me the question, if you look down, so there is a chat box there. So I'll be looking at the chat box, and whenever I have completed a particular sentence, and I will then finish at a point, and then I will answer your question. So there are a couple of more people trying to get in. Okay, so fine. So here is the chat box. So I think that you can see the chat box. So I just say hi. Okay. So in the chat box you can see. So I believe that you will see it blinking right now. So when you click on it, then you will have the opportunity to reply to me or reply to everyone. Okay. So people will continue to come. So it's good that people are interested in the project management and they are enhancing their knowledge. So, okay, so I think let me have a look if some more people are wanting to join in. Okay, so let me do this thing. Let me show you my presentation screen, and from there, I will show you my introduction, and then we will move on. Okay, so let us start with this screen. So let me share the screen first. Just give me a moment. I'm just sharing my screen. So I hope you guys can see the screen now.
Just wait. It's taking some time.
Okay, so
Yes,
you
sir.
got okay,
Yes.
fine.
Okay.
So I'll be using some slides. I'll be talking myself. So this is how we will do. So what you can do, what you guys can do now, you can to save on the bandwidth. Now you can stop your videos. Okay, so you can stop the videos, but I'll be continue to be on, and you can minimize or hide the thumbnail video part, and you can see the maximum of the screen. So, guys, so that is myself. My name is Sujoy Dutta, and I'm PMP certified project management professional, and I have worked in the IT industry since 1990. So if you look at the bottom, you will see my career timeline. So my career timeline is starting in 1990. Till 92, I was a programmer, then business analyst till 94. And from there onwards, technical architect. And from the year 2000, I started my project management journey. So I started to do the project management, then progressed into the program management, and held many senior positions in various IT companies. I worked in the US also on H-1B visa for 2 years between the years 2000 to 2002. And I started my training career in the year 2006. So in the 2006, if you look at the timeline, so I was doing my full-time job and also doing the training. So how I was training on the weekends. From 2013 onwards, I started doing this project management training and consulting. So training involves the training for the PMP certification training, Microsoft project training, and project server training, which is project online these days, and Oracle Primavera. So Oracle Primavera is another great project management and scheduling tool. Let me see if there are some more participants waiting to get in. Okay, fine. Okay, so now this is something that I do, and I have conducted around 200 plus PMP workshop. 4,000 project managers have been trained by me. 200 plus project management concepts workshop, 300 plus Microsoft project workshops, 20 plus online workshops, and online workshops are less, but these days I'll be conducting more and more. And 120 plus a Primavera workshop. The places where I trained mostly in India, Middle East, Singapore, Philippines, US and UK and Canada. I trained through the online corporates, but this is a very small list. And PSUs, public sector undertakings where I have trained is ONGC, IFCO. In fact, I'm training there on a regular basis, Power Grid, etc. Scheduling and rollout, this is my consulting service which I'm doing for the Genpact, ICT, Mahagun, Landcraft, SA Belcom, then Hindustan Lever and RBN, Railway Vikas Nigam Limited and more. So these are my credentials. So this is my PMP certification and those are my technical certification. So if you look at the PMP certification, it is basically having an expiration date. So this expiration date is something for which we have to basically seek PDUs, and I will explain to you at the end of the webinar how to give this. This is my credential for the Microsoft project, which is a project management tool. And this is a certification for my project and portfolio management tool. So which is a cloud-based tool. So these are certain testimonials from the people and those who have been trained by me. So this is actually a snapshot from the LinkedIn, but this is quite a long list. So here is a short list. Okay, so this is how it is. These are some of the pictures of the batches that I have conducted. These are public batches. This is conducted in Oman, NTI Oman. This is in Dubai. This is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So these are all the fourth year university students. So they are also learning the Microsoft project, and they are also training for the CAPM. Okay, and this is engineering company in Noida. This is the Aditya Birla Group. So the Aditya Birla Group has internal project stream. So this is in Bangalore, and this is ONGC in Dehradun, IFCO in Paradip, Orissa, and this is NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation team. So every year they have multiple batches. So this is from Institute of Management Technology in the Ghaziabad. This is Fortune International Institute of Business, Tata Sky. This is the GMR team, the design team which designed the airport, Delhi Airport Terminal 2. This is the Honeywell Corporation in Bangalore. And you know, it will go so on and on. It's quite a long list. Okay, so I'm going to share some slide and which will tell you about this PMV thing. Okay, so meanwhile, you can just a moment. So let me. Some people may not know. So let me do this thing. Let me help these people. Let me mute. Okay, so if you want to ask me something, you can put something in the chat box. So this is right now it is muted just to make sure, because some people might be seated in the noisy places. So basically we are going to talk about the PMP certification. Okay, and this is basically being conducted through Seventh Hack. So Seventh Hack is a well-established leading brand in training and consulting space that offers services to individuals and corporates. And Seventh Hack is striving towards creating a platform that professionals from all industry sectors can develop unmatched expertise and skill set. So you will be shared the URL. I believe that you have the URL already, so you can read more. And now I am going to tell you the details of the project. So you know, you must have heard this word project. So I believe that it's a very common word. So basically, you must have heard it in IT industry more frequently, but even movie is a project. So what kind of a project is that? Basically, it's a project to achieve something. So as it is being defined here, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So sometimes people, they confuse project work with the operations. So projects, they end, the operations are ongoing. So what is a project? When you make a movie, it's a project. So there is a goal here. It's a temporary endeavor. It's a temporary endeavor because once the movie is made or it is canned or it is filmed, so this movie, the people, those who work on making that movie, they move on to some other project or they move on to the resource code. So they just wait for the next. And now what happens to this movie? This movie is distributed to the cinema halls and they screen it day after day, day after day. So similarly, the car companies, they make a new car design. Every 5 years, they come up with a new design. So, you know, that is undertaken like a project. So when the design is finally tested and it is approved by all the authorities, like for safety, for pollution. So when that is done, the car design is transferred to the production team. So what does the production team do? The production team replicates it for selling. Okay. So that is the operations. Operations mean that something which is being done repeatedly or something which is being replicated. Like when you are having a metro track or a metro, say, route being taken from point A to point B in the city, so that would be undertaken like a project. So when that is completed, so that will be handed to the operations team, and the operations team is going to run the metro train day after day. So make sure that you understand the project. The project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So I believe that you have examples already about the project, and so the project management is very, very important. Okay, so someone is saying that audio is breaking. So guys, so just put into the chat box if that is so. Can you hear me properly? Because I'm connected in a high bandwidth network through the Cat 6. So is the audio fine for you? So guys, those who are having the problem, so please check what is happening your end, so you can make sure that you are basically having a very good connection. You can ensure that. I have no idea that what you use. Some people might be using a mobile Wi-Fi or a hotspot. So so that would be the cause of the problem. So if the sound is clear, that is fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute you all. So and that will make sure that sometimes people, they join in by chance, they are not aware that their mic is on. So we don't want any disturbance to come into the meeting room. So okay, let's get on to the topic. Now we need project managers to do that. Now project manager, it's a very short term, PM. So we have heard about this role, project manager. Now what does the project manager do? He does project management. Now project management is one of the things that he does, but there are many other things that he does also. So and that I will tell you in the course of the meeting. So what is the project manager doing? So it is basically he's applying the knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project objective. The objective is to either solve a problem, create a new product. Okay, so projects are undertaken strategically to undertake any new product, solve a problem, or they're done at the request of the client. And he has to apply his knowledge, skills, tools, and technique to the project activities to meet the project activities. Now, the project manager has to do some planning, and he has to do it strategically. He has to do scheduling and coordinating, and he has to use some tactics, and he has to track the work, and he should be good with working with people, good communication and soft skills. So the PM is not just a project manager, not just PM, but he is a people manager also. And he has to do the cost optimization of the project so that the project is profitable as well. So he is a profit manager also. He has to apply various processes of the project management and the industry. And that's why he is a process manager also. And the project manager is also, I'm not sure if you have heard it, but this is my experience. This is my knowledge that I've gained. So basically the promise is made in the contract, which is signed by the company with the client when they get the project. So, this marketing people, business development people, and the top shots of a company, they get this project signed. Now, who does the completion of that promise, the deal which has been signed? So this deal is completed by the project manager. So the project manager is also the promise manager. So it's a very important role. Okay. So, there is something now, let me tell you. Suppose if you are going in a cab and the cab driver seems to be driving fine, and after a few kilometers, while talking to him, you just come to know that he doesn't have a driving license. So guys, so if he doesn't have a driving license, but he seems to be driving fine, so guys, tell me that what would be your reaction to his driving? What would be your reaction to his driving? Tell me in the chat box. Would you still continue to go with him? Suppose if you have to travel for 50 kilometers and he says, no, I don't have a driver's license, but I can do very good driving. So would you continue or not? Say yes and no. So if you agree, say yes. If you don't agree, if you don't feel safe, continuing with him? Just say no. So what do you think? No. So I know that why are you saying no? So basically, you know, you are not sure about what is the quantification of his knowledge. Does he know the driving completely or not? So someone says that it depends upon the situation. Yeah, maybe if you know if you are going in a cab, this is the only cab in the lockdown. So maybe you can go. But let me tell you that under the normal circumstances, so you won't take that risk. Okay. So you won't take that risk. Most of the people won't take that risk. The answer would be no, because you don't have any idea whether his driving knowledge has been tested or not. Okay. So yes, someone says normally we don't check the driving license of a cab driver, but you know, these cab companies, they do check. They do a background check. So without the driving license, he won't be driving. So this is just a story. So this is just to that you are involved with it. Okay. Now, yeah, I know that you won't check the driving license. So nobody is going to check your project management license also, right? So now what happens that when we join a company, we are in a technical role. So from the technical role, slowly and slowly, as we are doing the projects, we gain more and more experience, and we start to understand the business of the company. We start to understand what kind of products is made by the company. So in the beginning, we are given a part of the thing. Okay, the part of the whole thing. Now, this gives us certain ideas. Now, the ideas, they might look like this. So when we look at the project, so basically, so now let me show you a slide. So I believe that you guys must have seen the elephant. You know, there is a story. There is the elephant, and there are 7 blind people. So now each of them are given the part of the elephant to touch. So everybody has a different perception. So someone says it is like a pillar. Someone says it is like a tube. Someone says it is like a stick. Someone says it is like a rope. So you know, this is what happens in the beginning of your career. You get different ideas about the work being done in a company. So when you become fully experienced with all the life cycle of a project, then you are made the project lead, and then one day you become a project manager. Now what happens that when you are made the project manager, it is only your boss calls you the project manager, right? So what happens then? You continue to work, you learn on the job also. It is not that you are not learning on the job. You learn a lot of things. You learn scope management, you learn time management, you start to write the documents. But what happens that you on the way you make mistakes also. So you learn from your mistakes also. So then you become a project manager, really proficient one in 20 years. And you want to tell the whole world, look, I have 20 years of experience, but nobody wants to believe you, because people say, okay, so where is the quantification of your knowledge? Who has tested you? Then can you say it is my boss? My boss, you know, he trusts me as a project manager. Now you know, that is why we need some certified quantification of our knowledge. So that's where the PMI steps in. Now let me tell you something about the PMI. Let me switch to a slide. So I think where I will be able to give you the better picture from the slide. Okay, so just hang on for a moment. So there is this organization called the PMI. So let me share my screen once again. So just hang on. So I believe now you can see my screen once again. Here is the screen. So you all can see. Okay, so you all are muted as well. So let me do this thing. So if you want to say something, so you can say at this point. So you can unmute, or if someone wants to talk back. Okay. Now let me tell you that what is PMI and how does it came into existence. So PMI is a very simple name, Project Management Institute. This institute was instituted in 1969 in the Pennsylvania state of the US, United States. Now many people who were working in different industries, various engineers, you know, they would share their work experience in the evening. in the US, there are lots of professional associations where a lot of people that come in the evening and they interact with each other on a professional basis to understand that what each is doing to solve their problems. So it is a sort of a professional meeting. Now, someone felt that we should have a formal association. So they started this organization called the PMI in 1969. So in the PMI, they started to share their knowledge, which is very pop across the various engineering. Then they put all that knowledge in a book called the Project Management Body of Knowledge. So PMI is basically a not-for-profit organization, not for profit. So it was instituted to share the best practices of the project management. So they are advocating the best practices of the project program and the portfolio management. Now, what is the benefit to us? Now, since 1969, a lot of knowledge has been collected from the various projects which have been done by the members of the PMI. So right now, PMI has got around, I believe, if you look at the certification only, PMP. So if you look at the PMP certification only, it is just the PMP certification 9,97,000. So this is till 31st December 2019. So you can assume that there are 10 lakhs. So, so many people, they have taken the membership, they have taken the test, and they have also contributed to the project management body of knowledge. PMBOK is a body of knowledge. It is not a book, because body of knowledge has contribution from multiple people. I mean, hundreds of thousands of lakhs of people. So it makes us even better and better when we study, using it as a study guide or as a base or as a framework. So the most popular certification of the PMI is the PMP, as you can see, Project Management Professional, and the next one is also there, the PMP, that is the Program Management. Okay, so which you can be also after some time. Now, what happens coming back to the story? So your boss calls you the project manager, which is fine. But what if you want to change your job? So how you're going to prove that you are a very good project manager? So, that is why you need to fill in the knowledge gaps. So you can't learn everything even in 20 years. It is not possible that you will be exposed to all the ups and downs and all the life cycle of a project. But the people, those who have been to some parts or the others, so they have collected their knowledge. So the knowledge is collectively collected in the PM box. So under this PM box, if you are going through the certification training, so that will fill in your knowledge gaps. It will complete your knowledge. Make a mistake to learn something. So I believe that most of you know how to drive a car. So it's not like that you just bought a car and started to drive it and drove it around, banged it here and there, then you learn to drive it. It's not like that. I believe you know that what is the right way. So if a car is worth 10 lakh rupees, then your projects are worth millions. So these days, the employers, they prefer the PMP certified project managers over the non-certified ones, because it gives them and their clients the confidence to give them the project. So let me see that what is there. So this is the importance of the PMP certified in India. You can double this number because a lot of companies from China are going to move. They have already started to move to India. So, we are into the good times, and when the businesses, they happen, they need more and more managers. So those managers would be you, and it is better to be a certified one so that you can stand apart from the crowd. So everybody is a project manager, everybody, Tom, Dick and Harry, they claim, because I have interviewed at least around 200 people in my career, starting from technical role to the project manager's role. But those who are PMP certified people, they are able to clearly describe what kind of projects they were, what did they contribute towards the value in the project, how did they manage the risk, how did they manage the quality, how did they manage the scope, time, cost, people management, risk management, everything they could define very, very clearly. They had a clarity because they had an understanding of the project management framework. They had understanding of the project management terminology. They could explain it very well. So, it gives me a lot of value when I am spending time interviewing candidates. Okay, so when I'm doing that, so if a candidate can basically answer all my questions very quickly and clearly, so I would naturally be, be inclined to select that one. So it saves me time. It is not that non-certified project managers, they are not good ones, but you have to talk to them. It takes around 1 hour to understand. And whereas a PMP certified project manager can basically close his interview in 15 minutes. He can explain using just one project. So this is the demand for the PMP in India. So make sure that you are there. So this is from the naukri.com. If you go to any major job portal, so if you type in project manager PMP certified project manager IT, PMP certified project manager in the construction, you know, in every industry, they are demanding PMP certified project manager. You will be able to see a lot of the vacancies there. Now, what is the value of the PMP? The value of the PMP is that it is a globally recognized project management certification. It gives you a worldwide recognition because your name will be appearing in the registry of the PMI.org. And any potential employer can verify them. Of course, you will have a certificate also, but if they enter your details there, so they can see that whether you are really certified. It demonstrates proof of the professional achievement, because PMP certification is for experienced people. You should have a minimum of 2.5 years of the experience in any domain. So it is not necessarily that you should be a project manager. How can you be a project manager? So until and unless you have some experience. Okay, so it is basically that you should be part of any project team for 2.5 years, and it will improve the way you can manage your project. It increases your marketability. It displays your willingness to pursue growth in the career, growth in the learning, and it increases the customer confidence, right? And it is valued globally across industry verticals and companies. Okay, so this is valued by the employers. Now, this is the steps to the certification. You attend a workshop, then you become member, then you submit an exam application. Now, what I am going to do, I am going to take it up in the end. So what I'm going to do, I will just show you that what is the total project management. So I believe that you must have seen some of these as the projects. So in the first one, as you can see here, so what is this? So this, what is this project? As you can see, what is the project here? So there is a rocket. So what is the objective? So I believe that you can type it in your chat box and tell me that what is the objective, that why the rockets are being fired, why they are being launched. So what is the purpose? A project manager should be able, if you have the mind of a project manager, you should be able to see and tell that what is the objective in doing this. So can you tell me the objective in doing this? Can you just go into your chat box and type something? I don't want it to be a yes, satellite launches. So yes, Rakesh Nag says satellite launch. Good. So basically, you know, it's a space mission also, as Victor says. So you have to understand one thing: the projects are having some mission. They are having some objectives. Now, this rocket is a vehicle. It's a truck. It's a sort of a very sophisticated truck. It is carrying the satellite and puts into the orbit. The satellites, they have a definite purpose. So one of the most common purposes of a satellite is communication. So you know, the communication that we are having right now is also bouncing through the satellite only. It is the satellite which makes long distance communication possible. You guys are from all over India, so it is the satellite which is making this thing, the internet thing and your mobile telephony as possible. Then this is a construction project. The construction projects, they are undertaken to create spaces where we live and we work, and they create such spaces for commercial activity, for residential activity, for hospitals, for colleges, for schools. Okay, so we live in those spaces, and these spaces make us comfortable, and then these spaces make us the personality that we are today, because we have lived in those good spaces. We live in a good space. We are able to sleep comfortably. We are able to work comfortably, and we are able to attend this Zoom session comfortably, no? Isn't it? Right. So this is the metro project. So this metro project is undertaking with a purpose, at least in the Delhi NCR metro. This was undertaken to solve the problem of the traffic jam, traffic pollution due to the traffic, and a lot of accidents were being caused. So there are certain projects which are undertaken to solve a problem. And this kind of a project, if you look at this, so I believe you know that what is this? This is a flyover. The flyover solves a problem. It solves the problem of the congestion and the traffic light. And this is a project Pulse Polio. So I believe you know that what is what is a polio. Okay, can you guys chat in the chat box? So what is a polio? Polio is opportunity or a problem? Polio is a problem. Polio is a very big medical problem. You know, the world over, what happens, the polio virus, it goes from, yes, the Arvind says that it's a disease. Yeah, it's a disease which afflicts the young children when they're born. So they get this virus, Neeraj Pandey says problem. And definitely we will understand the word constraint also. So it is not a constraint, but it's a problem. The projects they have constraint. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that if a person is inflicted with the polio, he becomes a crippled for the rest of his life. So we need to solve this problem. So that is why World Health Organization has undertaken this project, Pulse Polio. It is being conducted in all the countries of the world. Right now, we have a project at hand. We have to find a vaccine, and it is not a vaccine. It is not that one country will find a vaccine for itself. Do you think it will solve our problem if we just find a vaccine for ourselves? No. If we find the vaccine, any country which finds the vaccine, they will have to distribute it to the rest of the world, because only one spark can light the whole world. You know, all fires. So, you know, if you look at this COVID-19, it's a fire which is going on all over the world. It is setting up the economies on fire. It is setting up our lives on fire. So one spark, if it starts again, then it will light up. So what is the project here? The project here, that all the countries, big pharma companies, they are racing to find the vaccine, find the medicine, at least for the time being. So that is why this pulse polio was undertaken. Then we have this project here where I'm putting my pointer here in the right bottom corner. So that is a movie. So movies are made with the objective of entertainment for the masses and also money for the producers and the investors. So I hope now you understand the project. So what happens after this? It goes to the operations team. So what will happen? The vaccine is synthesized or made or manufactured by the scientists. It will be then distributed. The structure of the molecule will be distributed to the pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical companies will create an operation. Okay. Yes. Subrat Kumar Nayak, he asked, fighting COVID-19 is a project. Yes, it's a project for inventing a vaccine for COVID-19. So we can say that it's a project in which a lot of people, they are now investing, and their objective is to find. So we have a time constraint. So we can't say, normally, you know what the scientists, they tell us? The scientists, they tell us to get a vaccine from the conception to the market or to the point where it is safe for a person to use, it is 5 year cycle. Do you think we guys can wait for 5 years? The world can be under the lockdown for 5 years? No, we can't be under the lockdown. Now there is a problem. Now the lockdown has got the numbers reduced. Now what happens if we open the lockdown? So guys, do you understand that what will happen if all the cases go, say, down to 0 and we open the lockdown? Do you think it is going to solve the problem? So how many people think something? Please share your thoughts here. Do you think that lockdown is the solution or unlockdown is the solution? What is the solution? Think like a project manager. Tell me something. Lockdown forever. So if the lockdown is forever, then how you are going to get married? Isn't that a big problem? So I'm keeping that in private. Okay. Remedy of corona. Aditya Gupta says that remedy of corona should be the partial unlockdown for slowing. Actually, you know, when we have a partial unlockdown, or sorry, that again can spread. The fire is a small spark in the beginning. So it was just one particle of the virus. That was enough. It just replicates itself like a rapid fire in one person's body, then it goes to another person's body. So, you know, people are traveling internationally these days. Actually, this virus traveled from China to the Europe, then to the Middle East, then to, it came to India from many places. It didn't come directly from China. Nobody went to China to, okay, just give me some coronavirus. You know, it just traveled on people. So this is how it works. So it is just like a fire. You don't go asking for fire. The fire find its own way. So if you are living in an apartment or a society, if there is a fire in the 100th house from your blocks, and then what you should do? I am telling you 100% your responsibility to go there and stamp out the fire, to put out the fire, because the fire will find its way to your own home also. Okay, so we have to make sure that we have an objective. Now we will come back to the project management. So project management are basically, the project management is to fulfill the objective within a time constraint. So we have a budget, we have some time constraint within which to work and complete and get our objective out. So we need to basically make sure that our objective is fulfilled. So Akshay said a very good thing. Lockdown is not a long-way solution or a permanent one, because it is our responsibility and everybody has to be responsible and accountable. So so what we have to do till we find a vaccine? So what we have to do, we have to be basically keeping everybody safe. We should use masks, we should use sanitizers, and we should use the practices which is recommended by the medical person. Now let's see that what project management thinking can help us. Meanwhile, so projects are undertaken typically to address market demand, strategy, opportunities, solve a problem. So right now we will undertake this project to solve the problem. Customer request, technological advancement. Of course, we need a lot of technological advancement in the medical field to get beyond this virus, and legal requirements also. So let's look at the picture of a project. So here a project looks like this. So the projects, there is a bunch of these people, they are demanding some solution. Okay, so these are called the stakeholders. So you are also a stakeholder. A stakeholder is a person who is directly impacted by the outcome of a project. So they are having some expectations. So what do? You as a project manager, you try to understand that what is their requirement. You talk to each of them and you list out their requirement, and requirement is translated into scope. So the requirement is the requirement is the wish list, and the scope is the work that you need to do to fulfill the requirement of these people. So they tell you their wish list and you write down that what is the work to be done by us. That is called the scope management. Then after that, you determine that what should be the time taken for the task. So that is the schedule management. You do some planning here. You do some planning for the cost. You do some planning for maintaining the quality, so that the expectation can be managed well, so that the expected product functions well, or the outcome is functioning well. Then you do the resource management. While doing the work of the project, you are making sure that you are using the resources in a very, very efficient manner, in a most optimized manner. So your resources are time, your people, your equipment, your material. Then you have to do the communication management, risk management, procurement, stakeholder. These are all facilitating functions. So in total, we have got the 10 knowledge areas that a project manager should have the knowledge, so that he is able to manage the projects well. So this has been identified by the project managers, those who worked before us since 1969, and all that knowledge is very well documented and enshrined in project management body of knowledge. Now let's see that what is there. So guys, tell me in your chat box, so what do you think? So I believe that some of you might be already having the responsibility of the project management. So what do you think? Are you managing the project, or is the project managing you? So what's happening with you guys? So put your responses in the chat box. Are you in control of the project, or do you think the project is controlling you, or do you think it is two ways? So you are controlling the project and the project is also controlling you. It's some sort of a partial thing. So what's happening with you right now? Two ways. Arvind says yes, it is two ways, and Chinmay also says that. Okay, and Rakesh now say yeah, both ways after COVID, and most of the people say yes, it is both ways. So how it is both ways? That when you start the project, you start with a very good plan. So you think that you would be able to finish on time, and you know it seems very fine till the 20% or till the 25% of the time is consumed. But after that, you start to realize that it's going to take more and more time to finish the project. Now, in that case, what happens is that you guys start to push in more and more time in the schedule so that you can finish on the promised time to your client. So that is when the project starts to manage you. So that is why you need the project management. Okay. So that's what we are going to understand. So, you know, one of the knowledge areas in the PMBOK is the schedule management. So this webinar is basically intended to tell you or give you some idea about the schedule. So earlier till the PMBOK 6, this used to be called the time management, but nowadays it is called the schedule. So guys, do you understand there are two terminologies? One is the time and one is the schedule. So someone would like to guess that what is the difference between time and schedule? Would someone like to guess that what is the meaning of time and what is the meaning of the schedule? Yeah, interact with. I just want to make sure that you guys are listening to me. You're interested. Or let me do this thing. Let me for a moment unmute you all. So 1 second. Mute all. Okay, guys.
मतलब 3 लाख किलोमीटर पर सेकंड लाइट की स्पीड है, तो ये 2,70,000 किलोमीटर पर सेकंड है।
So what do you think is time
अब हम
and what
बात
do you
कर
think
रहे हैं
is
जो
a
कि मैंने पहले बताया था, अल्फा पार्टिकल किसी भी मतलब थिन पेपर को
lot of people they are
0.01
noisy places. Okay. So Rakesh says schedule is subset of time. And Akshay Singh says schedule is a series of events. Gayatri says the schedule we worked out initially. Yeah, that sounds good. So so thanks for talking back to me. And so now let me tell you, schedule is plan time. Yeah, that is also good. Schedule is a subset of the time management. Yes, of course. Let me tell you, it's very simple. Is a span of time with duration. 2 hour, 3 hour. Now that is time. Now time is a span of duration which is mentioned in either the hours, days, or weeks, but it doesn't give us an idea of the real time that when it should happen. So if I say that yes, stipulated timeline. So what is the stipulated timeline? So it is the stipulated timeline is basically the timeline which is having a real date and time. So the real date and time is like this. I say that I'm going to watch this 3 hours movie. Then you ask me that which time. So I'd say 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is the schedule. So the schedule is the definite date and time on which we are going to start a task and we are going to start and finish a task. So all the series of the tasks, they fall under the schedule management, and which we are going to study here because it is one of the most important knowledge areas in the project management. And every project manager in every domain, he needs it. He needs to know that because in the beginning, what we do, we create our schedules using the Excel. Okay, so every project manager starts with that only. So we need to manage our schedule for the timely completion of the project. So basically, the project management study here, the knowledge areas, they are divided into the various processes. The processes are like this: plan, schedule management, and you see this small little arrow here. So that is the outcome. So when we do this process, we end up creating this document. So this document is put into this section is schedule management plan. Now, what does the schedule management plan tell us? It tells us that what should we be doing, what should be the plan, procedure, do's, don'ts, advice, and what are the precautions and what are the procedure standards that we should be following when doing the schedule management in a particular project. That is the outcome of the plan schedule management. Then we define the activities, then we sequence them, then we estimate activity resources, we estimate activity durations, we develop the schedule, we control the schedule. So, you know, in the PMI, everything is very structured, and these outcomes are observation of the project managers that have worked before us, and it is all enshrined in the project management body of knowledge. So all the projects, they are divided into 5 process groups. So in the 5 process group, one of the first processes is the initiating. Initiating means that we have taken the initiative to start a project. We are doing the initial groundwork. We are trying to understand the big picture, the larger constraints of it, that is initiating. Then we are doing planning, and in the planning we do this process: plan, schedule, define activity, sequence the activity, estimate activity, and we develop the schedule. In the development of the schedule, we write what is the start and finish time of each of the activity. I believe that most of you might be still doing it using your Excel sheets, so which is fine. Basically you are doing it, so it means that you started to manage a project. And in monitoring and controlling, we are watching over it. Execution means we are doing some work. We don't have any process here. In the schedule management, out of the 5 process groups, in the planning and monitoring, we have these processes. Okay, now let's see that what goes into the schedule management. So first of all, we establish the policy, procedure, documentation for planning, that how we are going to do the work here, and all that is mentioned in this document. Because in the PMI based processes, if any organization is following the PMI based process, so first they should define the process for the work that they are going to do, then distribute this document to the entire team and the stakeholders, so that everybody works in a very uniform fashion. It's not that each person has a different idea about the project. So first they say that, okay, let's have a kick-up meeting, and in the kick-up meeting let us decide that how we are going to do the work, who is going to do what. You know, it is, I believe that if you've seen any military operations in some movie, so you would say, you must have seen that the commander, he first tells what is the mission, what is the objective, and what each of the person has to do, and after that they go on with the resources. So you know, this is some sort of a planning here also in the schedule management. So in every knowledge area, first of all you do the planning. So this provides guidance. So guidance is really very important. You know, I'm going to highlight this. This provides a guidance. Now, without the guidance, everybody would be working differently, and that's a problem. So these are the inputs, tool and techniques. Now we come to the interesting part of it: define activities. Define activities. Now I'm going to show you something which I believe that you would be able to understand: sequence. Now let me ask you this question: there is a person A here, and there is a person D. Oh, you can see the entire sequence. Now my question here is that if the person A is delayed, is it going to have any impact on person D? So guys, I believe that you can, yes. Narsimlu say yes, Gayatri say yes, Rajni says yes, Akshay says yes, Victor says yes. So Ayush says yes, Gautam says yes, Subrat says yes, Arvind says yes. So good. So guys, thank you for interacting with me. So that gives me a lot of encouragement here. And now you guys, you look at B. Okay. Suppose if B is delayed, is it going to have an impact on D? From B to D? Yes. Ankur says yes. Then rest of you guys, Gayatri again says yes. And Jaideep says it's a chain. Arvind says yes. Yes, it's a chain. Akshay, Rishi, Prabha. Yes. So I believe that you are now able to understand. So this is called the sequencing of the activities. Okay. Now we have to understand that we have to plan this. Actually, we have to plan this. So we are foreseeing this. So we say that this is the way the engineering task they have to done. I believe that many of you would be having an engineering background, and in the engineering, the task they are to be done in a very specific sequence according to the engineering fundamentals and principle, and as per the requirement of the product. And those are called the sequencing of the activities. And if that is done properly, then you will get a product which is of acceptable quality, and the quality which is something which creates the value, and the value gets you the price, and price minus cost is the profit. So that is why we need to do all these things in a proper sequence. So I'm going to tell you something about the various kind of sequences that we have here in the project management, and I think it will be interesting for you to know. Okay, so in the sequence we have two tasks. One of them is called a predecessor and the other is called a successor. And the tasks, they look like this. the task, they are having the shape of a bar, and S is the start time and F is the finish time. Start, finish. So start and finish of a predecessor, they control the start and finish time of a successor task. So we call that this is a precedence relationship, or this is a dependency. The successor is dependent upon the predecessor. In this case, the start date of the successor is dependent upon the start date of the predecessor. Okay, so it is called a finish to start relationship. Okay, so similarly, there are various kind of relationships. So one of the most common, as you can see on the top, is the finish to start, relationship. Then comes the start to start, in which the predecessor, this is the predecessor task, this is the successor task. The predecessor start time controls the start time of the successor. So that is why it is called start to start. And here it is called the finish to finish, because it is the finish time of the predecessor which controls the finish time of the successor. Then start to finish. Here the start time of the predecessor controls the finish time of the successor. So this is the last one. So guys, do you know any example of finish to start? Can you put your examples, any idea about the finish to start in the chat box? Just get into your chat box and tell me. So do you know an example of finish to start where you think that only if the predecessor finishes, then only the successor can start? Yes, Arvind says the preliminary design to detailed design. Yes, good. That's a good one. Yes, until and unless the preliminary design, no report without data input. So what we can say, that Victor says that first you need a data input, then you get a report. So it means first you should be able to gather the data. So we can say gathering the data, then generating the report. Yes. Then Rakesh says, yes, first you start the car, then you drive the car. Yes, of course. But before that also you have to do lot many things. Okay. And Neeraj Pandey says project can't be handover until the design completion. So what do we do before completing the design? So that would be the predecessor. Okay. Nurse Mulu says production. So where is the relationship? So find its predecessor. Okay. So in a precedence relationship, there has to be at least two tasks. So to start the relationship, then we have a start to start. So start to start, B cannot start until A starts. Finish to finish. So A and B, they both finish at the same time. Start to finish, they basically, the start date of the predecessor is predetermined. Now this is very important part of the schedule management, and I'm going to show you some practical approach to the schedule management here. So the schedule management, it works like this. So I'm going to show you the schedule management on the software, that how does it look like. So let me do this thing. Let me open the screen and then share it with you. Okay. So now I'm going to share the screen. So here is the screen share. So here it is a software, and basically what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to understand that practically how does the predecessor and successor relationship it works practically. Let's say that we have task one. Okay, I am going to type here task one. I am going to say the duration of the task one is say 8 days. So as you can see on the right hand side, so we have a bar. So you know this bar is having a length which is equivalent to its duration. Do you see the dates on the top? Okay, the dates on the top, it is called a time scale. The time scale is having some days. So those are the working and the non-working days. So the working days, they are marked in the white, and the non-working day are marked in the red color. So as you can see, 5 plus 3, 5 days from Monday till Friday in the first week, and 3 days in the next week. Now I'm going to put in task 2. Okay. So we are trying to understand that what is the finish to start relationship and what does it look like. The finish to start relationship looks like this. I say in the task 2 predecessor column, I say, who is your predecessor? Your predecessor lives in row number 1. And the relation between you and the predecessor is finish to start. So, the task, they get rearranged like this. Now, what is the definition? The definition says the predecessor controls the start time or the finish time of the successor. It's like this. If I increase the duration to 12 days, in the predecessor, its finish date changes. Now, the finish date of the predecessor, when it changes, it has an impact upon the start date of the successor, right? So this is the relationship in the finish to start. Now, in the finish to start, the total duration can be represented here in the group summary. So now let me show you the group summary. This is called the planning, and planning is one of the most important job roles of a project manager. Okay, so now let me show you this. Now in the group summary, you can see that it is going to take around 20 days. Now there is a lot of ideas you have about the start to start. So let me name this as finish to start. Now let me show you another example. Let me create a group summary. So here is a task, and let me set up the group so that both of them show up the total. And if I put them in the start to start relationship, it looks like this. Now if you look at the total of the group, it says 8 days. You see, it is totaling up as 8 days. Now this is the start to start relationship. Now if I change the start to start relationship to finish to start, what is the total number of days? It just adds up. It means that the task is being done one after the other. Now, let me tell you that what is the benefit. The benefit is like this. So in the first one, let me write this, make foundation. So if I'm constructing a building, I would go like this, and I would say make ground floor. Okay. And if I say start to start, so it is not possible. The first one, the make foundation and the ground floor, they can't be done at the same time. So they are compulsorily finished to start. Now, what about the start to start? In the start to start, I can write like this, that I say test software and fix the defects. Fix the defects. Yes. On a software, we can work like this because software is a non-physical thing and two people can handle it at the same time. One person says that your line number 10 is defective. It has got a bug on it. So another person can take a copy of the file and he can fix it. The other person continues to test the rest of the software. Do you see that what is the benefit of working like this? The benefit is that we are able to finish the duration. We are able to complete the task on hand in almost half the duration. So guys, you can give me some example of start to start, which you think, or maybe you have someone has any idea about start to start in life, where we can start two activities at the same time. You have any idea? I just want to make sure that you are interacting with me. If you are thinking of planning it like that, so just think on this. So the project management will help you a lot. So basically what we are doing is the schedule management, testing and commissioning. So can you do the testing and the commissioning at the same time, Arvind? Yes or no? Or you do it one after the other? No. I would say is no. You have to do it one after the other. Design and procurement of pipes, and Neeraj Pandey says that can be done. So you know that you can do it this way. Let me tell you, I agree with this. I say design and procurement of pipes. Suppose you are working on some project and you are going to procure. Now I'll just tell you that why you can do it in parallel. You can do it in parallel, the ones that have been designed, so those things can be procured side by side. Okay. So you can set up a relationship like this, and that saves you time. And you can put up 1 day of the delay here like this. You say, let us first have at least 1 day of the design completed, And if I'm going to put it into a group summary, I'm going to say group summary SS2. So what is the summary like? If you look at the summary, the total duration would be 9 days. So it still saves you a lot of time. So what is the benefit here? The benefit here is that you are able to do these two tasks very, very quickly, but without any technical problem. So you are able to design the product and as well as procure them almost at the same time, but you say your procurement will start after 1 day. Now we will come to another example in which we showed you finish to finish. The finish to finish looks like this. So here is a task, which is a task 1. So let's say that this is a 15 days task. Okay, it looks like this. So I'm going to put in a little bit of a gap here. So here is another task. So there is a task 2. So 15 days. So the task, they are linked up in a finish to finish. So, you know, the project manager decides that it is beneficial that both the tasks, they finish at the same time. Now, let me show you the group summary. I will put a summary task here. Okay, so this is, I'm going to put the group name as the group finish to finish. Now, both of them are finishing at the same date. Now, there is a benefit. So do you think that you have any idea of is there any task which you think should be done in a finish to finish, and it is better that it is done in a finish to finish way? That is more, you can say, more time saving, more compact in the schedule. Do you have any idea? Okay, no. Okay, I will give an idea. Let's say that I am testing a software. Okay, so I'm developing a software. I say software development. Then you see that I need a manual, but a manual doesn't take that does not take that as much as time as the software development. So what do I do? That I plan the manual like this. I say user manual. So I say that you plan the user manual during the last 5 days of the project, so that when my software is complete, the manual is also ready. So what is the benefit? The benefit is that it saves time. But what if I do it like this? What if I put them into finish to start relationship? Technically, there won't be a problem. Just look at the duration. Right now, it is 15 days. The duration will become 20 days if I put it in a finish to start. Now, finish to start is okay. Technically, it is okay. It's not having any problem. I say that you write the manual after the software development has been completed, right? But then what is the problem? The problem is that if you do it like this, the duration adds up into 20. But what is the advantage if I do it like this? Advantage is that you are saving time, but technically you are not having any conflict. There is no technical conflict with the sequence of the work. So you start writing the user manual somewhere around 18th of May, and you finish it up around 22nd of May, when the software development job is also completed. So, you know, that is the benefit of the sequencing of the task. And this is what the project management is all about. I'm using the software not for teaching the software, but to make it much more clearer to you so that you are able to understand better. Okay. So if someone is having another webinar, he can leave, or some other work, he can leave. So that's not a problem. And thanks for joining in. And then we come to another kind of a relationship, which is called the start to finish. The start to finish is like this. It is a little bit of complex, but not very difficult to understand. Suppose if you have to catch a train at 5 p.m. Okay, so catch a train at 5 p.m. and it takes you around 1 hour from home to the railway station, to travel from home to the railway station. So at what time you are going to start? So guys, you can write your answers in the chat box. So just put your answers. So when do you think that you should start? The train starts at 5 p.m. You have to catch the train. It takes around 1 hour from your home to the railway station. So when do you think you are going to start? So when do you think you are going to start? 3:30. Rakesh Nag says 3:30. Gayatri says 3:30. So, you know, that is like thinking like a project manager. They are putting 30 minutes of the buffer time. So they believe that if they start at 3:30 and if by chance there is a problem on the way, they will be still be able to catch the train, and which is basically a good project management thinking. So that's what we need here. Basically, then you guys need to be certified also to prove to the world that you are project manager. So, you know, the people, those who are able to save time and without causing a risk. So that is what project manager is all about. Okay. So why 3:30? It's like this. Suppose you start at 3:30 and you reach the railway station at 4:30. It's not a problem. But suppose if you start at 4 and on the way there is a tire puncture on the way, and if the driver takes around 10 minutes time to fix the tire, and you reach the railway station at 5:10 p.m. So do you think the train is going to wait for you? Are you going to catch the train? Yes or no? Guys, put yes or no. If you reach the railway station at 5:10 p.m., are you going to catch the train? Yes or no? Let me see how many people are listening to me. Rakesh says no, Gayatri says no, Akshay says no, Arvind says no, Divan says no, Victor says no. Yes, thanks guys for interacting with me, for listening into me. Ramraj says no. Good. Okay. So make sure that you're interacting with me. Okay. So Rishi says no. Thanks. Now this is the benefit of understanding the project management. So you have to understand that in the project there could be certain terms. Jairokia Raj Jagan for short. So he says no. Good. Thanks for interacting. So guys, so keep on listening to me, keep on interacting. So that's good. You will be able to get a very good one day. So when it returns to normalcy one day, you will find there is a lot of pendency, lot of pending work to be done. So when there is a lot of pending work to be done, so every company, every organization is going to look for project manager. You will be the first one. They will be seeking you. They say, look, we have got 50 projects pending at hand. Can you just join here at this pay scale and can you help us out? Okay, the world is not going to remain backwards. So just trust me for this. We are just passing this year just to stay alive somehow. It is good to survive. Then we can do all the pending projects. So meanwhile, what we can do, we can enhance our skills. So this is an opportunity rather than a problem. So that should be the project manager's thinking. Okay, now let us look at this thing, that how it is planned here in the project. So you have a task which is having a pre-assigned date, which is like the train. Train has a pre-assigned date and time. So you plan backwards from the train departure time. You say if the train is going to depart at 5 p.m., then you count backward 1 hour, then you put in 30 minutes of the buffer time. In project management, the terminology is the reserve time. You put in a reserve time 30 minutes for any kind of urgency, exigency, or contingency or emergency on the way, so that you are still able to catch the train. If you reach the station earlier, it's not a problem. But if you reach the station later than the train's departure time, then it's a problem, right? So this is how we are going to represent it here. I will first create a group here. Okay, like this. I create a summary task group, and then I'm going to put in some gap. I'm going to change the name, group summary, start to finish. Then I say this is the train departure. So train departure, let us say it is a fictitious task and it will have its own predetermined date. It will have its own predetermined date like this. So this has a predetermined date. So this date is far away in the timeline. So what I want to do, I want to reach the railway station. Let's say I want to reach the railway station 2-3 days in advance. So what should I do? So I should plan the task like this: reach the railway station. Okay, I'm coming from a far off town. So what I say, that 20 SF, start to finish. So 20 is the address, is the road number of my predecessor, and SF is the short form for 5.2, that your predecessor is residing in row number 20, in relationship between you and that is SF, and you should be finishing 3 days ahead. So I say minus 3 days. Now it is counted 3 days prior to it, and 22 minus 3 is 19. So 19 is the date by which this task should be finished, so that you are able to catch the train. So, that is the start to finish relationship. And this is basically the benefit of the project management thinking and learning. The benefit of the project management thinking is that when we are going to basically plan any project, we are going to ensure 100% success. Now we come back into the slide. So the slide gave us this 4 relationship, which we illustrated through the software. Okay, so this is the lead and lag. So lead time is the time in which two activities, they are overlapped. So that depends upon your project management knowledge and technical knowledge. It saves time. And this is the lag time. So this is the lead, this is the lag. So if you have any activity like say painting, so oh, don't mind my handwriting. So if you have any activity like painting, then you say activity like this, decorate the room. Okay, so you will leave some time for the drying. So this drying time is going to help you a lot. So it's not that you are going to do something here to make the paint dry. So leads and lags, they are applied between the dependencies. So this is the schedule management part of the project management. And similarly, if I go back onto the slide, now let me tell you that this is the whole picture. The whole picture of the project management looks like this. So I'm taking you back here into the 10 knowledge areas. Now, what is the scope? The scope is the total work to be done in the project. This work has to be determined after talking to each and every stakeholder. So you guys just tell me that how many people you can see here. Okay, so can you do a head count here? Can you count and tell me the number of the people that you are seeing? So you can put into the chat box that how many people you are seeing here. 17. So how many people? 17. 17. Okay, good. Now let me tell you 17, and now I'll tell you that why I'm asking you to do this exercise. See, we have to understand. See, when we are doing some project for the client people, so we have to understand one thing, that suppose there are many people, those who are going to give you the requirement. First, you should know the number of all the people that they are going to give you the requirement. If by chance, if you miss any person, that person will stand up in the middle of the project and say, oh, you have not factored in my requirement. If you have to do the project replanning in the middle of the project, that will be quite some trouble, because based upon the requirement, you are going to calculate that how much work is to be done by you. That scope is the work. So first thing, that you will basically determine the total work to be done. And based upon the work, you will determine how much resources you need. So then you will do your resource calculation. From the resource that you are going to get, you are going to calculate your time. See, if you have got more resources, it will take you less time. If you got less equipment, less people, it's going to take you less time. If you get more people, less time. If you get less people, more time. So from the schedule, you are going to determine the cost. And if you know all these three, scope, schedule, and cost, then you are able to take care of the quality. Okay, so the quality is the acceptance criteria of the client. Client says that the product should function like this at the end. So in between, you have to communicate with them. You have to make sure that nothing goes wrong. That is the risk management. And you have to procure. Procure means to get men, material, equipment, or anything outside the project team. So if you are getting something done from the contractors, or if you are going to get something done by some other team which is not part of your regular team, so that would be the procurement. The procurement goes for material, equipment, and people. Those were coming from outside. And then you have to manage all the stakeholders, you have to meet them, you have to understand that what are their feedbacks throughout the lifetime of the project. You have to apply the tool and technique of the PMI, you have to apply the PMI process, then you have to apply the tools like the project management tool which I showed you, that is Microsoft Project. And then you have to create a plan and a checklist, and then what you get is a project success. If the majority of the projects are successful in an organization, so an organization does many projects in a year, so it does multiple projects in a year, and if most of the projects they are successful, then the enterprise is a success. That is what the project management is all about. So, guys, so that is the importance of the role of a project manager. A project manager is the promise manager. A project manager is the promise manager, and he is the person who is making sure that the promise is delivered by the organization. Okay. So what we are going to do, that we are going to answer your questions regarding the PMI. And here is someone has a question. Okay. So Redmi, I believe that is your mobile name. So just Redmi, you can just go ahead and ask your question. I have unmuted you. Do you have any question?
No.
You want to? Yeah. Tell me. Tell me your question. So someone has a question. So if someone has the question, just raise your hand or just put it into the chat box. If you put it into the chat box, then I would be able to answer the question. So just go into the chat box and write your question. So someone has a question, please write there. So, coming to the PMI is the organization which is going to give you a sort of a framework based upon which we would be teaching you this certification preparation, and after that you would be able to take the exam, and after the exam you would be able to get a certificate which is internationally recognized by all organizations in India and abroad also. Actually, there are more number of the PMP certified people in India than in the US. Okay. So in the India, you must have seen that in the pictures I'm teaching at the PSUs like ONGC, then DRDO, then the Power Grid Corporation, NTPC. So there are many public sector undertakings also, they recognize this. And of course, there are many private organizations that recognize the PMP certification a lot more. So, post this COVID, when there will be a, huge backlog of the projects to be done, the humanity is going to the humanity is going to basically do their projects. Yeah, Redmi is asking me, are you available in Vadodara? Yes, right now I'm in Vadodara. No, isn't it? You can make my picture bigger, and I'm in Vadodara. Okay. So everybody is available everywhere through the Zoom platform. So basically, I used to fly to the Middle East. So many of my Middle East clients right now, they are talking to me through this Zoom platform, and they are very happy that I'm still there. So Victor has a question, I believe you all can read. So for someone new to the project management, how do we meet the eligibility criteria for the exam? Number of the hours. See, if you have got around 2.5 years of work experience, I'm saying work experience, you should be working in any organization for at least 2.5 years, which is equivalent of their minimum requirement of 4,500 hours with a graduation. In India, everybody is a graduate. There is no other way you can get a job. In the US, a non-graduate can get a job, but in India, people are minimum graduate. India has the largest number of the graduates in the whole world. So I believe that you are a graduate, and plus you would be having 2.5 years of the experience, even if you have 2 years of the experience. So what do? You come and join this course. You are going to do some preparation for some time, and after that, you're going to take the exam. So by the time you take the exam, you have completed your 4,500 hours of the necessary work experience. So that is the criteria. So, there are Or so Redmi is asking, where is the syllabus? Syllabus you will get in the mail, and the softwares are utilized here for the demonstration purpose of the concept. So the software training, if you're interested, yes, you can do the software training separately. So yes, we can mail you the details. So let me tell you the three things. One criteria is the graduation, noted guys, graduation, which you are. Second criteria is that you should have done this training. Okay, if you're interested. The third criteria is that you should be having 2.5 years of the experience. Even if you have less, you can undergo this training, and in parallel, your time will be completed also. And by the time you get the opportunity to take the test, nowadays PMI is allowing you to take the test from home. You know, I can share the details with you. If you have a webcam enabled laptop or a desktop PC, and if you have a webcam, so you can take the test from home also. Even those details can be shared with you, and the validity of that exam will be the same as that of taken from any center in full presence. Okay, so then Jaydeep has a question. Yes, Jaydeep, of course, you should ask me a question. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, hello, sir. First of all, thank इतने बढ़िया training के लिए. It is a very good training. So,
Okay, thank you, Jaydeep.
sir, actually, I have some doubt. My doubt is
Yeah.
that you see me. Actually, I have around 15 years of experience in pharmaceuticals, in auditing, quality assurance, and I've handled 2 or 3 pharma. Hello.
Yeah, sit down first. Then now you tell me your question. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, sir, I have around 15 years of experience in for pharmaceuticals.
Yes,
So
yes.
in pharmaceuticals, yes, I did auditing and you can I handled 2 projects. So actually, I was looking the PMI. So actually, I am very, you can say, in dilemma that should I go as per my experience, or shall I take the PM certification? Because some people said me that if you go for PMI, so you have a good opportunity around the world. But I'm little bit a confusion. Means it is a specific for IT person or a pharma person can do this, and what is the job opportunities? Even I did a small course, free online course from Ellison. So just to understand what is the project management or all this thing. Recently I
Hmm.
was working. Yeah. So recently I was as a, you can say, AGM and QA. So over
Hmm.
there I handle project. It's a small project around for 5 months. So where I handle the project to start the new company from the base. Now it is very hard to find the job. So actually I want to know that if I go for a certification, so it is a option for me to change my job or not, or career.
Okay. Now let me answer your question, Jaydeep. What you have asked is very good, and you know you have said a very important point. It is very hard to find a job. Now let me tell you that when I hit the recession in 2002, so I had to come back to India. So it was very
Okay.
hard to find a job. So that happens sometimes. You know, the world goes through a cycle, and you look at the people who used to work in the jet industry. You think they were jobless? No. The people, those who are very proficient, the pilot and the crew, they find the job in the some other airlines. The humanity is not going to go back. So what do you think about? Just hold on. I will first let me answer the complete set, and then you will ask me more questions. I'll just tell you it, because you know that is the concern of the people. Now let me first clear this before we even talk about the project management. You said it is very hard to find a job. Yes, I totally agree with you. I'm from the IT industry. Now what is hard? It is not hard to find a job. It is hard to find a job in these days. This is the time to train yourself. Now let me tell you that what is happening, what is going to happen. Now there were a lot of people. One of my friends, he used to work in a company called MTS. I believe that you know the name MTS. MTS is a mobile company. Okay, MTS company. That was quite a good company, Pan India. It had the Pan India presence. And then when it shut down the business, do you think that he was jobless? No. I told him, look, all the people, those who are the SIM card subscriber, do you think that they have stopped their numbers? Where those numbers will go? Some number will go to Airtel, some will go to the Geo, and someone will call from the Airtel at the Geo. This is what exactly happened. I told him to try, and I also told him to learn the project management. Meanwhile, he enrolled with me, and during the while he was searching for a job, he completed his PMP. Okay, he just trusted me, just as a matter of friendship. I'm not saying that you have to trust me for that. You have to apply your logic. The logic is that the world is not going back to the Stone Age, right? First thing, if someone is used to certain services, the world is used to a certain services, it is going to be like that. I am not driven my car for last 1 month. Do you think that I will not be driving it for the rest of my life? Or I can do without driving the car? No, I can't. I have to go and meet my clients. I have to go to the various companies. I have to go and teach there. It's not like that. It is a temporary phase. You have to understand at a personal level also, there are ups and downs in life. This is happening at a global level. So you don't have to worry about it. There are many people, those will find a solution. Now, coming to your project management career, now let me tell you one thing. You are very proficient in project manager. As a project manager, you are very good and a valuable asset to your company. Now it is your choice whether you want to stay there or you want to be recognized internationally or nationally, and you have a firm footing in your future career. It is the time where you can think. It is the time where you can learn. It is the time where nobody is going to call you. You are not going to call anybody. You can be just most of the time staying at home. You are basically studying. You can be in a very meditative state of mind, and you can think over a lot of things. You can absorb a lot. So this is the time to learn. So you have a very good job opportunity in front of you. This is what many people used to think during the 2008, 2009. Okay, they used to think that the world has come to an end. It is not like that. It is a recession, is a temporary trend. It is a cycle. So these cycles, they teach you the lessons of life. They teach you the lessons of the business. They tell you the business re-engineering and the process re-engineering and the restructuring of your habits. So okay, so right now for 1 month we have not eaten anything from the outside, and the attendance in the medical, in the OPD, to the doctor and to the medical test for sugar, heart and cholesterol, they are not happening. People are not going to the hospitals. Is it that someone has people are falling more sick? Now people, they are realizing they are not having any such problems at all. Okay, so you have to understand, this is the time to learn, and the time to earn will come later. Okay, now you tell me that what is the answer you want further.
Yeah, sir. Actually, my question is that my background is life science. I did a MSc in
Okay.
microbiology. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
my
fine.
yeah. So my confusion is that when I search the job management, what they require B or engineering. So my confusion is that. So, what is the scope for life science person?
Yes, I'll just explain. Yes, your concern is right. Now, let me tell you, everybody, guys, let me tell you one thing. Let me ask you one thing. In fact, what is the first engineering of mankind? The first engineering of mankind is the civil engineering. Many people think that if the guy is having an IT background, a lot of trainers are there having the IT background. Oh, it must be something from the IT. It's not like that. See, software engineering or the IT engineering is a very latest engineering. The first engineering of the mankind is civil engineering, which started thousands of years ago with the pyramid, with the Great Wall of China. I'm talking about those times where the paper was hardly invented. I'm talking about the paper. Paper was a new invention. I believe that they must have written their sequence or the plan on the paper, and they must have done something. Okay. So then came the structural engineering, mechanical engineering, then electrical engineering, electronics engineering, communication engineering, computer engineering, software, nano engineering, genetic engineering. Now these are the new engineering which is, now what is the common thing? All they have taken the project management from the earlier engineering. So PMBOK is the collection of the experiences of all the project managers. Okay, the project management is common, like the accounting is common in all businesses. Whether you make medicine or whether you make a construction, in every business there has to be some profit. So someone has to understand how the company's finances have to be managed properly to get a profit. So there is a person who delivers the project. He is the project manager. There is a person who is managing the profit of a company. is the CFO. So all those have the common knowledge. A CEO has MBA degree and the CFO has a MBA finance specialization. Every industry needs a project manager, so you don't have to worry about the pharmaceutical. So there are a lot of my clients, they are from the Baxter. I believe that you know the Baxter is one of the largest injectables pharmaceutical company here. They are based out of Gurgaon here. So every year, 15 people from Baxter company, they take the project management training because they are discovering new molecules. They have to do it for antibiotics. So you are from the pharmaceutical industry. They have to set up their project. They have to set up a timeline. They have to set up the resources. They have to set up the funds. So project management is everywhere. Even in the event management company, the people are coming to learn the tools like Microsoft Project and the PMP training. They have to take it because they are managing the events for the client. They are non-engineers. So in fact, a lot of non-engineers are going to do a lot of the project management thing because they are doing some event management. They are going to launch some product. So all kind of, even the human resource manager, they are coming for the PMP training because after this they are anticipating a lot of intake, so they have to plan intake from colleges, they have to plan intake of the experience from 0 to 3 years, from 3 to 5 years, they have to plan. So when there is a lot of planning involved, the project management knowledge will kick in. The project management certification will get you the recognition from the crowd because after this lot of demand will be for the people. Immediately you just come and join, come and join. And the people, those who are going to select you, they are not going to talk to you much. There won't be time much for talking. Just come in. You have this certification, you have the driving license to drive this project. Okay, you just come and join this. That's it. So guys, try to understand. Right now you are sitting on the gold mine. What is that gold mine? Time is the greatest gold mine. There is nothing in this universe precious than time. You can get money from your boss if you lose some money in the project, but your boss will never give you extra time. Why? Your boss says, I have a boss, that is the client. Client does not give me extra time, so I cannot give you extra time. If you want to put on more people onto the project, if you want to put more equipment onto the project, just go ahead and do it. Just get it done quickly. This is how the businesses are going to run in the next 5 years. Okay, so the project manager's role will be very, very important, guys. Don't miss this chance. The time is precious. The time is the gold mine. This time which you utilize to learn some skill, okay, that skill will be encashed and you will be encashing that skill for the rest of your life. It is just an investment. Money is not the only investment. So the money you can count, but the time is countless. Okay, so these days are precious. You just cannot count the value of this time. So we are all born with prepaid life card, like a SIM card, prepaid SIM card. So we are all like that. So we have a limited time within which we have to live our life and we have to fulfill our karma and our goals. So we cannot get back to the time. If you have a bank balance of say 100 crores, was Dhiru Bhai Ambani able to buy some time for himself? Was Rishi Kapoor able to buy some time for himself? Was what is this
Irfan.
Irfan Khan was able to buy some time for himself? So
Correct, sir.
don't you think they had the money? So everybody had the money, but nobody could tell God, okay, God, you take this money and give me some extra talk time. No, nobody has got that time. Time is precious. So today you have the time. So each day of the time that you are having, utilize this time to acquire the skills. And when you are ready for the job market and the job market is ready for you, so you will be encashing that. Just see the value. You can have money. Someone can come and give you the extra money, but nobody in this world can give you 1 day extra in your life. Just keep this in mind. You still have some questions on this? Ankur, you have some question?
No, sir. No, sir.
Victor, you have some question? Okay, so I'll ask you guys one by one that I can see on the screen. So, Rohit, you have some question? Divan, you have? John, Vaibhav, Narsimulu, Akshay, then Jagan, Neeraj Pandey, Arvind, Gayatri, Mahesh, Robin, Meghdut, and Achal, Mani, Rakesh, Galaxy, uh, Galaxy. So what is the course duration? Gayatri has this question. So this course duration is of 36 hours. So we will be covering the 36 hour, 6 hour per day by 6 days. So we will be conducting this on the weekends. So we will take 3 of your weekends. Each day, 6 hours course will be conducted on Saturday and Sunday. We'll take 3 pairs of the Saturday and Sunday. And for 6 hours, we will be conducting this course. Actually, not 6 hours, it will be a little bit, it can stretch a little bit more than six. Why? Because we have an internet connectivity. If someone is having some connectivity, we'll wait for that person to reconnect. And why are we doing it on Saturday and Sunday under the lockdown? Because most of the people, they are working from home. So most of the people, those who are doing this course, they are not sort of some other kind of, so basically all those people, they are the managers. So the managers are the people, they have the opportunity to work from home also. So so that is why we have put this course on the weekend. So during the weekend you can do this course and it will be covered in 36 hours over 3 weekends. Okay. And someone else? Gayatri, fee details. Yeah, fee details will be shared with you by Mr. Vivek Srivastava. So he is the CEO. Ankur has a question. I'm an associate professor in a university, so it will be useful for our students. Definitely the students are doing it. So for the student, the exam that they will take is the CAPM. So they will not be taking the PMP exam, because the PMP exam has one criteria in which the person is required to be having an experience of 2.5 years. But they can do the same course, but they can take another exam called CAPM exam. So that will be good. So when you are planning to start, we are planning to start on this coming weekend. So we are planning to start on 9, 10, 16, 17 and finish on 23 and 24th. So we'll start on the 9th. So please note the dates. Dates will be 9, 10, 16, 17, 23, 24. And after that, you will be put up into the WhatsApp group and you will be supported, coached and mentored till you take the exam. And you will be getting the training material in the form of the study guides. You will be getting question banks for practice and you will be getting the recording of all the sessions. Okay, so which you can revise. So during the week, so on Saturday and Sunday, you will be coached by me one-to-one in a live session. It is a online live training. I call it online live training. It's not a live virtual training. It's not virtual, it is a real training. So you'll be interacting with me in real time and I'll be answering your questions real time, but you will be able to repeat it. Repeat it in the sense that you keep a recording on your end in the student. And once you have completed the session, you can go through it during the week. And next weekend, we will start with answering all the questions. And in between, during the weekend, you will be in the WhatsApp group. So you will be in the WhatsApp group forever. I have a WhatsApp group in which there are students, those who are with me for the last 6 years, 7 years. So, they're consulting me also because I am a consultant also. I'm not only teaching the PMP. So I'm not just only a trainer, I'm putting the PMP to practice in various companies. So I'm making sure the companies are able to implement this process. So I'm teaching their staff and also teaching them how to create the documents according to the PMP and how to make sure that your projects are working according to the PMI process. And I also help companies in utilizing the project management software like Microsoft Project and Primavera. And there is another software which is Project Online. So there are various companies, they are putting all their data in the cloud and I'm helping them do that also. So I help companies in implementing PMI process, help them in selecting the right software and the right amount of the licenses. So I'm a project management consultant end to end, and you will be learning directly from the horse how to run, right? So guys, tell me more questions. So yes, someone says he lives. Okay, first Mahesh has a question. He says, what is the strategy to pass PMP in the first attempt? Actually, what I'm going to do, that I'm going to give you a series of question banks. So the PMP exam is 200 questions which have to be answered in 4 hours. I will give you one question bank and you will take a self-test in 4 hours. Okay, you will switch off your mobile. You will set up a timer for yourself. You will take the test and then we will check the answers. So in the answer, we will do the gap analysis. After doing the gap analysis, you will only study the gaps. Okay, and you will seek clarification from me. Then you will take another test. You will take another test till you start getting 80%. So normally the people, they start getting 80% after the training only in the third test. Okay, in the first two tests, you will not come up to 80%. But now let me tell you guys, the surprising thing, the actual pass score is 63%. If you get a 63%, you are passed. But why I'm asking you to set a target for yourself at 80%, it is because so that your stamina is high, so that when you go to the exam center, so you are cool, calm, and confident. Okay, you are neither underconfident, you are neither overconfident. So both of them are harmful. So you should not be afraid to take the test. At the same time, you should know that what is the right approach. So once or twice you get the pass score of 80% in your home simulated test, then you go to the exam center, you take the test there. So once you take the test there, you are going to pass it. That is the strategy to pass in the first attempt. So if you have to fail, you will fail at home. You don't have to fail at the exam center. So your time and your investment in the exam fee is saved. It is safe, okay, due to this strategy. Just like we send a soldier to the front, the AK-47 and send him to the border. It's not like that. We give him complete training. We subject him lot of rigorous conditions for survival, for fight, so that the person goes back, he fights and he comes back victorious. That is the idea. So someone, he says he lives in Faridabad, where I have to visit for exam. So these days, actually PMI has given you the option to take the exam at home also. So that is like you have to sit in front of the camera and then someone will be watching over you. You know, there is a process there. You can take the exam from home also, but definitely the view centers, I mean the Pearson view centers are there in the Faridabad also, or near to the Faridabad also in Delhi. So you can take it from there. But I believe that if there is an option to take the exam at home, you take the exam at home only. Okay, so that will be the best. So someone has any more questions? So you can just put in your questions into the chat box. Or if you guys are done, then we can follow up this session. Yes, Ayush, you have the question. Yes, please go ahead. You can ask your question, so that's not a problem. You can just, let me see. I believe that you can unmute yourselves and you can ask me a question. Exam take place, everyone see exams normally under the normal circumstances, they take place every day. Every day they have an online session. So it is like this. So there is one session 9 to 1, another session is from 2 to 6. So if you go there to the exam center, you present your card and then they will give you the opportunity to take the test. The test is online. So you sit down at the designated time at your designated place, you start, and in the next 4 hours you can take. So there are multiple people taking the test, and when every person is taking the test, he gets a different set of 200 questions. So, you know, that is randomly picked up by the software from the question bank, a set of 200 questions, and that is presented to you. And then you have to answer that unique set of 200 questions in 4 hours. So the centers which are conducting the PMP test, they are doing it twice a day, 6 days a week. Okay. So you can basically get that information during the training itself. So I will provide you that. And not only that, if someone is traveling to say Mumbai or some other place, and once you have got your roll number for the exam, you can test the you can take the test in any nearest center. You can take it in the US, Canada, wherever you are in the world after enrolling for the test. Because the fee is the same for the entire world. The fee is $139 plus $405 for the test. $139 for the membership and $405 for the exam. So once you pay the fee and once your eligibility criteria is checked and it has met their criteria, it has passed their criteria, and you will get the green flag to take the test. And after that, you can take the test from anywhere in the world. You can walk into any Pearson View Center with your roll number and with your identity paper. Identity paper should be either passport or driving license or the Aadhaar card in India. Okay, so with any of these three and plus your roll number, that is the sheet, and those people, they will enter the roll number in the system. They will be checking your identity with the paper that you are carrying, and then you will be allowed to take the test. So you can take the test from anywhere in the world after you have paid the fees. So you still have any questions? So now let me tell you the value. The value is that you are recognized. Right now, only your boss says that you are the project manager, but after doing this certification, the whole world will call you the project manager. The benefit of studying during the lockdown is that in the lockdown, you can study in an undisturbed fashion. You can get more of my time also, because after the lockdown, I'm going to get busy with implementing the projects, implementing the schedules. Okay. So basically, I'm normally not available like this. I'm mostly busy with the corporates. So the corporates, they are planning after the lockdown, they're saying that you can do the training from home also. So I might get busy there also. So guys, it is an opportunity to get some time with me. So I'm basically normally busy with the Middle East clients and the US based clients. But Vivek, I have teamed up, Vivek Srivastava, so I've teamed up to provide you this. Vivek, can you please come online? Please come on the camera and present yourself to these wonderful people.
Okay. Hello, guys. Hi. Well, myself Vivek, and I'm representing Seventh Hack. So just to give you a brief introduction about our organization, we are a training company. We do training and consulting in several areas like project management, uh, agile management, and software testing, and several types of trainings and consulting we do. So first of all, thanks to everyone for being so patient and being with us from past, more than 1.5 hours now. In case you are interested in joining us, I'll be sharing this schedule for this training. Probably we'll be planning it as Sujoy mentioned, starting from next weekend onwards. So I'll be sharing the schedule. I'll be sharing the invite, wherein if you're interested, you can register, and accordingly we can plan further. So that's all from my end. I will not take much time of yours. I'll be sharing all details to our company. I'll be sharing all links and everything, wherein if you want, you can visit us on all platforms and get to know what all we do. But for now, I will not get into all that because it's about PMP only. So let's stick to that only. That's all from my end. I guess that will be sufficient.
Okay. Thanks, Vivek. So guys, you still have so many questions. So it is not that it's like that 5 to 6 thing. So we are all under the lockdown. So let us utilize this time fruitfully. Okay. So you still have a question, you can go ahead and ask me.
Sujay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
one
Yes.
question. Actually, last year I was membership of the PMI. But
Okay.
unfortunately, due to my overseas traveling, I could not able to join the pay for the exam.
Okay.
So that membership still will be valid, or I have to get the membership?
See, the membership has a validity period of the 1 year. Just check if you are near validity or you have just
No, that is validity is almost done.
Yeah, so you can renew for 1 year, so it will be discounted for you. I think the renewal is like 50 to 60% of the original fee.
Is it mandatory to take the membership?
No, it is not mandatory to take a membership, but now let me tell you a maths here. If you just look into the chat box, see, if you do not take the membership, the exam fee see in the chat box, the exam fee will be USD 555.
Hmm.
Okay, just 1 second. The exam fee will be 555, and if you take the membership, the membership is 139. Then the exam fee will be 405, and the total will be USD 544. Now you can do your maths at your end, and you can see what is beneficial. But now let me tell you what is the benefit of the membership. If you take the membership, you will be able to download any updated version of the PMBOK. You will be getting invites from the local chapter of the North India PMI chapter that is based in Delhi. You will get online meeting invites also, and you will be able to access the PMI site for many other books, standards, and PMI magazines. You know, there are a lot of PDF magazines, very attractive and good, and you should read them to widen your project management thinking. So membership, I think, is beneficial, but I'm not selling the membership here. It is your maths. It is your choice. But membership is beneficial
Thank you.
from my point of view.
Thank you.
But membership is not beneficial after you have passed it. I'm not a paid member of the
But
PMI.
as you
But
advised me,
yeah,
if it is validity is over also, that can be renewed with some discount rate.
yes,
And
yes,
in that
yeah.
case, it will
So
benefit
so
me.
so they will give you some discount if you are within some time period. So is it exactly 1 year or more than 1 year, or what is
Almost
the
1 year, 2 months now.
plus? 1 year
1 year,
plus?
2 months. Oh, yes, 1 year plus.
Yeah, 1 year plus, na. So they will still give you some discount. So that's not a problem. You just go to their website and check out
Okay.
that what is the policy like.
I will do that.
So Ayush,
So
hope
with the
that answers your question, right?
Yeah, I got that. I got.
yeah. So membership is beneficial in many other ways also.
So I was listening from the initial, and what I understand as far as the weekend classes that you are going to take class 9, 10, 16, 17, 23, and 24.
Yeah, so classes will be taken. Once again, I repeat for the benefit of those who might have not heard me clearly, because some people I see they are still, because some people are getting disconnected and they are trying to get in. So the classes will be conducted on the weekend so that everybody can be accommodated, so that there are working people from home, so that they can take the classes on the weekends in an undisturbed fashion. So we are keeping the classes from 9 a.m. From 9 a.m. onwards, from 9 a.m. till say 2 p.m. with the lunchtime in between, because we have some people joining in from from Australia, Singapore side also. So that is why.
I mean, actually, what is happening? This is my personal issues. I mean, personal problem. I'm not going to do anything on that. Only what was my concern that the examination weekend classes, which is going to take place 9, 10, 16, and 17. That seems feasible with me, but 23 and 24 it seems quite difficult. It may be difficult. So is it not possible that we can start quite early? I mean, we can go with.
Okay,
7.
Ayush, I would say on this we can always discuss one-on-one. We have multiple batches that we run in parallel, so definitely we can plan something basis your convenient.
See,
So
what we can do, that in case people are interested, some people are interested in the weekdays batch. So any class that you missed, a particular number class, suppose you missed the sixth one. So first of all, you can get the recording also. So you will get the recording, because we are going to make a recording on our end, and we will put up on some platform like Google Drive or something. So you can download it from there. You can go through it. And plus, if you want any one-on-one, any doubt clearance after looking at the recording, you can come back and talk to me anytime. Because in the lockdown, I'm not going anywhere. The whole day I'm in my office from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. answering the questions of my students, the former students, even those students, those who have passed 5-6 years back. So they are in my WhatsApp group. So you'll be in my WhatsApp group. So you are a recent student. You have not even given the exam. So definitely for me, all my students are important. So I interact with me. So that is my work. Okay. So it is not that every day you are paying me fees, but I am interested to talk about the project management. So that is what I'm doing from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. And if you have any question, So if I am available, you are available, we'll talk on the Zoom platform one-to-one. I will answer your question. So what is the problem?
No issue. Thank you.
So that's not a problem. So I can show you this group. So I have this large group of this people. So they're still with me since long. So you know, so they are still discussing a lot of project management. But these days, you know, everybody is worried about this thing. So they are talking mostly about this COVID thing only these days. So everybody is mostly past. So they are just so I have this group, but anyways, so so some people they seek some sort of the support and they get it promptly. So let me show you this group. So here is the group. Okay, so this group is called PMP MSP Primavera. PMP MSP Primavera. So people are basically talking about the project management. So right now they might not be talking too much about the project management, but they are free to ask me any kind of questions which they want. So some people they have certain questions. Some people they have certain knowledge to share. Some people say they took the exam. Oh, okay. So this group is there, but of course, if they ask me the question, so someone gave this information online PMP certification, so you can give it online at home also. So you know, so we are sharing a lot of the information here, and these days they are mostly worried about this COVID thing, but the interaction is mostly about the project management. Okay, so you will be part of this group. So they, I mean, people are there. If you ask me a question, so if I don't answer within 5 minutes, someone else will. Okay, and they are all the project managers from the various industries. They are all very experienced and they are all very much knowledgeable about the PMP. Okay, so sometimes they share certain questions, tips and tricks. Everything is there. Sometimes someone comes up with a PDF book, so they will share it here. They will put the PDF book here. So you know you will be in a sort of a study circle which you used to enjoy in our childhood. In our childhood, in our locality, there would be a study circle. We'll share our books and share our resources, material. It is just like that only. So the same thing. So it's not a problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, one last question, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, one last question. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, clear.
Actually, when I was last year, when I applied to take the membership, I submitted my all documents for the eligibility, and I got the clearance from the PMI that I'm eligible to take the examination. Now, my concern is after 1 year, I have to again apply for the eligibility to check my eligibility from PMI.
Yes, I believe that you are lucky and an unlucky guy. Now let me tell you why you are lucky. You are lucky because you sometimes for some people it goes into the audit process. But your lucky is did get into the audit process. But you are unlucky. You made yourself unlucky because you did not take the exam within the window 1 year. When they had given you the green flag, you should have paid the fees for the exam and taken the exam within 1 year. So by the time right now you would be a PMP certificate, but it's never too late. So I will tell you the right way. So how you can do it. So once you join my class and once you paid the fees, I can sit down with you and advise you the right thing. Okay. So it is not that it is not the end of the world. Maybe this lockdown is a boon for many people if you see the opportunity. I'll tell you that how to see the opportunity. I'm going to share a very general story. I believe that most of you guys are say aware that earlier there were two parts of the Germany after World War, East Germany and West Germany, just like we have North and South Korea here after the war. Now, East Germany was controlled by the communist, that is the USSR. and West Germany was with the allies, that is the USA plus the Britain, France, and all those Western powers. Now, what happened that when 1982, when the two Germany they started to unite, now what happened? There was a wall running through the city of the Berlin. Berlin is the capital of both the Germanies. Now, what happened? So when the wall was being broken, I'm talking about the opportunity. Now just see what is the story. It is a real fact. The Americans were there, a lot of the Americans, because they were facilitated by the American only. That the East Germany should merge with the West with Germany, and the power of the USSR was declining. Okay. So what the Americans were doing, you will be surprised to know they were collecting the debris of the war and they were shipping them back to the America. So the Germans, they didn't take notice of that why the Americans are picking up the debris of the wall and the good chunks of it, they are shipping it back to the America. They did not understand it. So then what happened? That within the period of 6 months, all traces of the wall was gone. The American contractors were called with their big machines. They raised the wall completely. There is no trace of the wall today. If you go to that spot, there is no trace. But you know what happened after 3 years? The American companies, they packed those pieces of the wall in the glass cases, and they came back to the Germany and told them that, look, these are the souvenirs. We want to sell these to you, $15, $20, $25. Itna, itna, itna. Itna 15 ka, itna 20 ka, itna 25 ka. They sold it to the Germans. They sold it back. And they made their millions. That is the opportunity. So can you see the opportunity in this lockdown? A project manager should be able to see that. Okay. A lockdown is not a punishment, but rather it is a good time to spend with your family and kids.
Exactly.
Okay. It is a good time to study. It is a good time to meditate. It is a good time to get into a very peaceful state of mind where your absorbent, your study level is now back to the school level. In the school, when I used to read one lesson in one day, almost in every subject we had to cover one lesson. Can we do that now? No. But in the lockdown, yes, almost we can do it, because right now we are not rushing to the office. We are not being surrounded by the driving and all that stuff. So we are at home, we are working from home. So we have the time, we have the energy. But when we are working in normal times, sometimes we have the time, but we don't have the energy. Sometimes we have the energy, but not the time. So then what do you do? So it is better that you see the opportunity just like the Berlin Wall. So remember, when I say Berlin Wall to you guys, so you should remember what does it mean to you. It means a lot of value. Okay. Okay, so someone else has some questions. So you guys are still here. Shivaji, you are here. Shivaji, you are here. Rajni, you are here. And Tarun, you are here. So you have some question. You guys should. And Deepa, you have some question. Selvaraj, John Selvaraj, you are here. Pranay, Sadhu. So you are here. So guys, you have some questions, or should we close this session? Okay. So guys, so thank you very much for being here. Yes, Pranay, you have some question? No. Yes, Pranay, tell me, you have some question? No? So, okay guys, so thank you very much for being here. So I believe that it was nice for you. So you learned something. Nice. I was able to convey something.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Very nice.
So you have a very productive time during this lockdown. Okay, I hope you guys are safe. I know that. I don't have to tell you that. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you have some productivity during this time, so that after this time you can tell yourself, okay, this is how I got the value of this. So what I converted the Berlin Wall into. Okay, fine. Nice. Thank you very much. I'm going to end this meeting. Bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.